Okay, hello friends. How is it going? Good evening. Happy Sunday. Monday in some other places. I'm so sorry. Hope you are all doing great. Good to see you all. Let's see. Who's here? Eggy Sandal, hello. Shones, hey my friend, how are you doing? Mojin Grape, hello. My streamer is live. How's the airport? Was it airport? Airline? Aircraft management going? I see your stories and I think they're fun. Airline air traffic controller simulator. Let's see. Hello, Drua. Captain Mike, hello. Beep, beep, beep. Epsilon, hello. Sean, also thank you so much for dropping the sub. Thank you for the prime sub for 28 months. Thank you. Mr. Kupo, how are you? Mr. Kupo, yeah, so the starting soon screens are from this one artist. 1041 UUU. They're on Tumblr and they also have their own website, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Who else is here? Big Macs and Onions, hello. It was not a fun day today. What happened, Drua? It's not gonna be a fun summer at all. Why? Are you working for the first time or something? Let's see. Nah. 1041 UU made their Twitter account in 2008. That's pretty old. Yeah, that's pretty old. For real. Alright, so also fuck you. Oh wow, okay. Rude. I didn't mean it like that, but you know, I was just trying to congratulate you on your potential work experience this summer. But if not, then it's fine. I mean, if you're not working this summer, then that's cool. That's good for you, actually. Must be nice to not have to work each summer. I had to work each summer because I had to pay stuff. Brother, my airline is cooked. Oh, F. How's your week been? Honestly, it's been busy as heck. Like work-wise, I'm dreading this week a little bit. Like work-wise, I just have like I have like this like report to give essentially this week, so I'm just kind of busy for that. Luckily tomorrow, like Mondays are usually like Mondays and Fridays are kind of quiet, you know, for the office. So they end up being quieter. So usually like if something's happening on Tuesday, then like get the Monday to work on it, which is nice because it's like just a quieter day, so it's like I can have my own time to work on stuff. But yeah, during the week sometimes things get a little busy, so there's that. Work is work though, so it's fine, no big deal. Outside of that though, like this week was busy because I was like checking out like places because we are probably gonna move, so you probably won't be seeing this place anymore. Different background at some point, I guess. That setup might change too at some point. But that will be like within the next month and a half, you know. So yeah. For like between I would say late June and late July-ish, I probably won't get to stream a lot. I am gonna try because we are probably moving. I do want to clear out some stuff. So I am hopefully planning on just doing like something to like give away boards, key sets, that kind of stuff. Just like clear out some stuff. And I'll probably just do like maybe it might just be like a subathon type event where it's like you hit like every 25 equivalent. I give out like a keyboard or like a key set and stuff. Oh, hi Kiwi. So gonna do that. Bigger place? No. So actually probably not. Probably actually it might be a smaller place because we're just trying to save money. I mean, the reason for moving is that actually we're kind of getting priced out. Like the rent increase is just kind of high, and so we're just actually trying to like save money. So we're actually going to a neighborhood that costs less and like has equivalent-ish amount of space kind of thing. So yeah, actually not an upgrade in terms of space. So yeah, I mean that will be a Kiwi, you're so talkative. Hi. Oh, but he doesn't really want to come here though. Can you hear that? Oh, he's so cute. I hope it's not far from work. So actually, from work, it might actually be better. So we're moving like kind of like closer to our respective work, right? But like it'll be better in terms of commute and location and things to do and here and there and stuff. But it's like a side grade, so to speak, because we're not like really like upsizing, right? It actually, in fact, it's kind of like a potential downsize, like in some ways. I mean, in a way, every time you move, you also trim stuff, so give or take, it's kind of just there. So we'll figure it out though. But it'll be busy, you know. I'll be packing. I'll be busy like handling all that stuff. So it'll be a busy month ahead. Honestly, like physically, kind of exhausting to be honest. So we'll see how we do. So yeah, what's your timeline to move? Yeah, so next month and a half basically is the timeline. Timelines here are pretty narrow. Like, I mean, the way New York City apartment hunting goes is you find the apartment that you want to tour, you contact them, the agent, or maybe the owner, and they say, okay, you know, can you schedule a viewing at this time? You go, and then you kind of decide on the same day whether or not you're going to apply, which means preparing your paperwork, right? So it's like, you know, credit report and W-2s, tax returns, like verification and info and personal info and ID and blah blah blah, like statements and proof of income, like all that kind of stuff, right? So, you know, all your paperwork. So basically you kind of prep like within the 24 hours after you view something, really, if you want to have a good chance of getting approved and getting a place, because you're kind of competing against other people if they are also viewing at the same time. So there might have already been showings before, you don't know that. So it's a tight market in that sense. You kind of have to like get things going right away. You're kind of going to see something with the expectation that you possibly will apply, and so things move within the weeks to a month segment for a lot of renters here. So usually like things that are a month away in terms of like your move out and move in date is going to be in that period of time. Like the bulk of the market is going to pop up in that period of time, and so you kind of have to act quickly. So it's kind of tough in that regard, but obviously it depends on the scale. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Hello, graduate. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get started. So today we have this. This is a board. It's a TKL. So this TKL is called the DK1-TKL. From GDK Lab. So GDK Lab makes this, is making this full copper bottom TKL, budget and premium sort of. And basically the idea is to kind of have, designs that are nice and simple, but at the same time have like nice materials and whatnot. But basically, bottom line is they're trying to go for like a brass copper bottom base TKL design with a pretty accessible price point. I believe the price is expected to be around basically between $200 and $250. Really competitive pricing. I think North America is going to be handled by Uni Keyboards or Unikeys, and then there's other vendors like Prototypist, Keygem, and others who are handling this. But yeah, competitive pricing TKL essentially. And so I actually don't know what the contents of this are, so we'll see. So let's see, we got a bunch of plates. I think this is an alu plate. we got an alu plate. We got a FR4 plate. We got foam. We got a 1.6 millimeter hot swap PCB from what it appears to be. It is no flex cuts, and it has the magnetic pogo pin connector type of deal. For mounting, it looks like we have a form of gasket mounting, and it looks like it's basically fixed 7U and C with step caps lock support. F13. So F13 TKL, if you're wondering about that. So it's definitely F13. We have a foam kit. And then looks like they provide a set of stabs. These are plate mount stabs. They actually come pre-lubed. They come pre-lubed. That's kind of interesting. They actually do come with lube already. I mean, you can kind of see it there, but they already come lubed. It looks like they're lubed with something very similar to 205, kind of, but no, I'm not sure. You know, form of grease, maybe as just a PTFE based grease, but they come with stabs here. Well, at least this unit does. It's a sample unit. I believe they did confirm on the Keycaps thread that they will have a PCB mount stab support, but I think this prototype currently is plate mount. Wireless capabilities, so it has a USB dongle. Looks like we have a metal novelty that says GDK Lab. Do you play Overwatch on keyboard and mouse? Yes, I do play Overwatch on keyboard and mouse only, actually. Have never played it on console, so I actually don't know how to really play on console. And looks like we have a bunch of mounting stuff. Oh my god, there's actually quite a lot. Let's see, actually. There's probably different hardness, I think. Yeah, okay, so we have these little, like... Okay, these are bump-ons, I think. These are, like, little gaskets. These are, like, the bigger gaskets. And then I think they're basically equivalent on different hardness. And then we have little, like, dumbbell-style gaskets here as well. Also in 2 different hardnesses, I think. I'll check the thread to see if there's any info on that. They also provide a cable, which is kind of nice. So here, ooh, that's kind of a nice cable. Okay, nice straight paracord type cable. The connector is kind of cool because it's like semi-translucent here. It kind of shows the inside. That's kind of neat. That's kind of nice. Kind of looks nice actually. Provide a cable. We don't have to use it for it, but it's there. Then battery. And then those pre-lube plate mount stabs are not that good. I lubed them again and balanced the wires for my DK160. Oh, okay. Good to know. So maybe I'll just re-lube the wires then. Okay. I mean, I do expect pre-lube stuff to also kind of shift in transit. So it is pre-lube need not mean perfectly fine. Sometimes it's good to just touch up on those. But it's good to know. Thank you for the heads up. So they've also done a 60%, as you can see. So this is a DK1-TKL. So let's check it out. I took it out earlier just to take that IG story pic, but I have not actually seen it. So looks like we have a WinKey unit. So there it is, WinKey in anodized silver. And it looks like we have this kind of interesting finish, textured finish on the nav cluster area here, in the arrow cluster area. Looks like we have the ball catch system here, I think. Yep, that's the ball catch, alright. So ball catch. Very neat actually, kind of cool. I personally think this is kind of cool. Is the focus okay? Yeah, I think the camera's focusing fine, right? Sorry about the shaking. Actually zoom in on this. But it has kind of like this rocky, like sandy sort of texture. It's like just finished at the top. So the rest of it is just kind of, oh, it looks like it's like 2 pieces actually. It's a kind of like attachment. Yeah, look, 2 screws to attach that. Looks like we have a diffuser sort of situation here. But little polished badge here near the light diffuser, and then we have this kind of like rocky texture thing going on. So that's the top piece here. See? And then side profile sort of looks like that. Kind of like has a little kind of dip in, like towards the inside a little bit. You can see here, kind of like tapers in. And then we have a sort of like a full side covering top piece, goes all the way around. And then for the bottom piece, which is indeed all copper, looks like we have some kind of like force brake sort of situation done here. We have these like little 2 rubber pieces. It looks like I have some rubber on the corners as well to sort of like do some force brake over here. We have some openings for those little dumbbell gaskets. Here's a ball catch mount thing, clasp. Then we have the pogo pin connector. I'm assuming the battery goes somewhere inside over there. But we have a ginormous, this is brass, I suppose. It looks like brass to me. But we have a very big brass bottom, which says defined in the middle. And then it's basically 2 pieces. So if you look at this carefully, this is the side, and you have one piece here, one angled piece, this sharp piece here, which I assume is going to be also the battery compartment, I think. And right, and you have your bump on cutouts right there. You have your USB cutout, which is a center USB. And then you have little cutouts sort of for the hot swap sockets and whatnot. Hopefully we don't experience any kind of like bad bottom out here, but we'll see. And then there are these 2 little badges that just say like DK1-TKL defined and GDK D series, which is like the brand, right? And the specific line of work that they're doing. Kind of reminds me of Glare quite a bit. Yeah, actually kind of has that aesthetic. Yeah, very like angled and kind of like tilted from the bottom like that. So pretty interesting. But you know, this is so if you look at it now all fully, that's what it looks like. It's a pretty nice side profile actually. Pretty attractive, I think. Nice and angled. I do like what they're doing here. This is a pretty cool aesthetic actually. Pretty cool aesthetic. They're pretty nice. There's a very subtle taper right here. Not sure if you can see that faint line here, but this piece is not just like cut, like there's a slight taper here, slight cut here on each side. So there's like very subtle details here and there. Same as here. There's some subtle details though that kind of appear when you look carefully, but you can see this line kind of going through. But very subtle, very nice. I actually dig the aesthetic quite a bit. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put these bump-ons. I'm not even sure if these bump-ons make a huge difference, given how heavy this really feels. I can weigh it in a bit. I don't have my scale on me like this minute, but I can definitely get a scale once we build it up. We're gonna weigh it. We have nice. Oh, these bump-ons are actually quite rigid and thick. I'll show you what they look like, but that can hold this big brass bottom just okay, just enough to keep it off the desk. But they're using nice rigid triangular rubber bump-ons. Not as soft as you might think, which is always a good thing. The whole point is to have these kind of separate the rest, right? Okay. Did Hoffman ever tell you what's going on with Keycaps? I have no clue, Kupo. I have no idea. But yeah, there's the bump ons. This one kind of goes in a little bit more than the other. But yeah, there's our bump ons. The tolerance of the plate is a little bit bigger, so the plate stabs they provide can't fit the plate tightly. I used Teflon tape to fix it. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me look at the PCB again, actually. If they support PCB mount stabs, I might just use some cherry stabs. Because, you know, why not? I mean, if they have the cutouts already on the PCB, then I can just use it. And let me see if the plate actually would support it too, though. But they might not. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Actually, it looks like it's plate mount only for this. The plate. The plate cutout is. I think it's plate mount only here. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll figure that out. All right. So I guess I could put the battery in, but it's a standard. Here it looks like a rechargeable. Oh, set of 2 batteries actually. So rechargeable 3.7 volt, 1200 milliamp hour batteries, rechargeable batteries, lithium ion, 2 of them. Probably goes on the inside of the case. We can put these in later. And we have a metal novelty here. It looks like aluminum, nicely engraved with laser here. GDK Lab. Pretty cute. Okay, and let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and pick the type of plate that we want to use. Nokia batteries, yeah, they thick. Too bad they just don't play the ringtone. So let me get the PCB as well. What mount is this? Looks like it's a variety of gasket mount. So wait, let me read out the way they describe it. Gasket. Gasket structure. We set up a dual structure, silicone plate gasket structure and silicone PCB gasket structure. Okay. So, 2 kinds of hardness. Basically, users can choose according to their preference for assembly. So yeah, basically you can do on the PCB or on the plate. So that's neat. So plate has these small cutouts. PCB has these big cutouts. So I assume if you can do PCB gasket, then I assume you can also technically do plateless. But that's an option. Yeah, we can go plateless if we really want to, yeah. I think that's the idea here. So let me see. Let's look at the gaskets here, right? So I assume these are, let's see. I'm gonna take all the gaskets out. Oh, look at that. How nice. So these are clearly for the PCB here. They have these 3 openings. And they clearly go right here, or oops, right here. And you know, they fit throughout the whole array. And then let's see. And then we have these small ones, which I believe are to fit the plate. So let me actually open up the plate here. Are there flex cuts on the PCB? No, there's none. There's no flex cuts on the PCB. So this is an aluminum plate. So this one looks like, interesting. So what's the deal with these guys? Are these individual ones for what? Let's see, what are these for? These are pretty small. Where do they go? I'm not sure what these are for yet. Let me open the rest here. Okay, those are the same. And then we have these little dumbbell shaped ones, like the little button shaped ones. So these, I believe, just go on these cutouts here. Kind of like that, right? So you can do that. So we can do plateless, and then let's see. Yep, so these are for these guys here. They fit perfectly. And let's see here. Let's just open cutouts for the little gaskets. I'm actually let me look at what these guys are for. Gaskets. Okay, I see those guys. And Are these for these individual tabs then? Do these fit? I guess they sort of fit. Yeah, I guess these fit here. I mean, like, I guess you can kind of adjust. Let's see. So these will kind of go like that, right? So let me look at this. Okay. So these would, I guess I would probably just use the big ones actually. I don't know why I would use the small ones for. I'll probably just use the big ones actually, just to have a kind of more sturdy and throughout the whole side. Yeah, okay, so let me see which ones are actually harder than the others. So the gray ones are softer than the black ones. The black ones are definitely much more rigid in terms of hardness. Okay, so let's choose actually. Let's do a poll for how we want to build it. How to build MX rounds on Lube plate, FR4 plate, and no plate PCB. Okay, and it does look like this has PC mount stab cutouts, so I can actually use PC mount stabs on this if I want to do it. Especially if I do plateless, I have to, right? So you guys can pick what you might want to build. But that's nice. Okay, so I'll wait for you guys to pick, and I guess I can always have this foam just on this side for now, and then okay, so I'll wait for y'all to finish the vote. Separate these for now. No FR4 love, LOL. Yeah, I don't think I've seen many people have a strong preference for FR4. That's just kind of. There was a time FR4 was a little bit more popular, actually. I feel like they just didn't regain the popularity since then. So I think a lot of people just kind of gravitated towards the metal or plastic plates instead. But FR4 is fine. Good for certain combos. I do feel like it sort of deadens, like kind of dampens out a lot of certain combos. So I personally don't love FR4, but some people do like them with specific switch combos. Yeah, I do think like, ooh, Alu and no plate are a complete tie. Ooh, okay. I'll do a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker, Alu, no plate. Do a 1 minute so you can vote. real quick. I don't think it's gonna end up being. Basically, we're just gonna go for with whatever people choose, and at the end of the day, I don't have a strong preference between alu and no plate. I do feel like plateless can be fun though. So coin flip it. All right, if you really want me to coin flip it, I can do that. I've been my plateless arc lately. Oh, I see. Let's see, where's the coin toss thing? Do we have like an RNG command in the chat? I actually don't know if is it roll, or like does it roll, or no, or is there like a command for it? I don't know. I don't know if there's a command for it on the bot. Yeah, see, it's the same. Okay, coin flip it is. All right, it's a coin flip. So heads is gonna be alu plate, and tails is gonna be no plate. Okay, so I'm gonna just open up the page. Okay, and all right. So all right, so coin toss. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. And it's tails. All right, so it's plateless. All right, we're gonna do plateless. So if that's the case, then I can just grab PCB mount stabs for this, right? All right, plateless it is. Grab some cherry stabs. Good old cherry stabs always work. Okay. So let's see, 1, 2. So just the usual TKL stuff. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oops. What do you think about the Zephyr Z1? Someone asked me this earlier today. Was it today or over the weekend? I like it. I think it's a pretty nice board. It's well thought out. The stainless steel actually works pretty nicely for it. I think it sounded pretty good overall. If I recall correctly, the Z1 is also like just HHKB, right? So if you don't like HKB layout, then it's not for you. But it is MX HKB, if I recall correctly. But it sounded pretty nice when I built it. And I did use it for a little bit, and it was pretty nice. So I liked it. I don't think it's kind of fair to say like, oh, is alu to stainless steel gonna make a specific huge difference? I'm like, it's kind of hard to say, because the answer to that for me was like, it kind of depends on how the pieces contact each other, and like how you like fasten them together, and like you know, like every little thing matters in terms of like how the cases sound at the end of the day once you do a build. And then, you know, like and then after that, you also have to factor in like what build do you have in it, right? But you know, I guess all else equal, switching a part of the material from alu to steel or brass or something like that, and like gives it some extra density. And you know, a lot of the reason of why people prefer to use denser materials for the bottom case or for like a weight inside the cases is because it can get rid of some of that like resonance and like kind of like have like a little bit nicer sound to it. But you know, it's a little bit more empirical, like you just kind of have to try it out and see how it goes. So there's no like one answer to give and say like, oh yeah, it's gonna automatically improve the sound of your board. That's just not true. Sometimes it can actually sound worse. So you only know after you test it out. Okay, that's my answer to that question. But the Z1 was a nice board, is all I can currently say. I can put these away, I think, for now. All right, so first things first, let's just go ahead and clip my stabs. So, the Z1 is designed by Nissan Design and Zephyr Lab, and I think they, they thought it through. So, and Nissan is not new to designing keyboards, so it's not like completely, I'm sure they tested it. So, it sounded nice. Like I built it with like no foam and just like pre-standard switches, and it sounded pretty good. It's okay. When I do these polls on Twitch in particular, like when I'm live and streaming, not many people vote at the end of the day. So I kind of wing it sometimes too, even though the poll sometimes says one thing, because I know it's just not representative of what everyone thinks. It's just a small sample size. So in a way, it's kind of like, oh, whoever's paying attention, you can have a say in it, but yeah, sometimes it's just a very small sample. Okay. Okay, we go ahead and clip those. Your playlists always remind me of playing Persona 5. That's fair. I think the two playlists I usually play these days is gonna be the Gam, what we call Gam Radio, which Mr. Gam, he's a community member. He made this playlist which has mostly like, like Japanese like future funk type of, city pop type of music. And then the other one is the Korean one. So it has a lot of like Korean, like some old and some new music. But also kind of like that like city pop type of music. So yeah, I guess in general the vibes are kind of similar. I mean, if you really wanted me to go back to some other playlists, I could. Imagine if I went back to the playlist and the people who are old enough in the chat, like who have been around in the chat for a long enough time, like in my streams will know what the playlists are. Like, do we want to go back to epidemic music, jazz, and then feel like we're back in 2018 Teha Types mood? Do we want that? Do we want to sound like that? Definitely is reminiscent of a different time in the hobby too. No, I'm not seeing it as a complaint either, by the way. I'm just also kind of explaining what playlists we have. There's like other random playlists I've like arranged to, but I just haven't played those in a while either. To be honest, music choice for me matters a little less. I do prefer like more instrumental, or like even if like the vocals are not like something I need to like sing along type of deal, or like listen and like understand lyrics and like how, like, it's like if it's just like kind of like ringing your head with lyrics, it's like a little distracting for me. But also it can't be like too quiet either. Oh, hello, Logan. Hello. How's it going? Thanks for the raid. How's it going? Hello, raiders from Logan's channel. Welcome. Koreans gotta support other Koreans. Oh, my pedo Korean. Excuse me. Thank you. 생일베리 감사 for the raid. Have you guys seen that Korean Instagram guy who is like the Hongdae stereotype? Excuse me, do you live alone? So funny. iPhone 16 Pro Max. Yes. Do you like the Korean girls? Korean girls, no. They're like diet yogurt. Yeah, that guy. So funny. So funny. Put your number in my iPhone 16 Pro Max. You're suspiciously good at this? You know. Just good at the accent. That's all. Just good at the accent. Nothing else. I totally would not do this to anybody. Promise. Can I have your Kakao ID? Is it by any chance perfect? You perfect, me perfect, we perfect together. Are you in any active GBs? There's like a set that I'm in. I did get a Prussian Blue. And Verdant Retro. Yeah, those I think that's the only stuff. I want to join the GB. Something is wrong with me. What do you want to join, Kupo? What's there to join that you might want? Prussian Blue is such a nice color. Yeah. I was kind of bummed that it didn't like work out was it the first time, I guess? And so I was like, this time I don't want it to like lose steam. So yeah. Prussian Blue I really did support because I was kind of bummed about the first time. And it's a nice color, so I can't go wrong. It's a nice set. And I actually enjoyed the changes that they made to the kit, so I was like, okay, that's perfect for me. That looks better to me, compatibility wise and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, this time I don't think I'll miss it. Anything? When Dolce R5? Soon TM. I don't have a date, by the way. The date is whenever we're done making changes to the kitting, and whenever, in this case, Novelties is the main vendor who is helping me push this forward. So whenever Novelties and I arrange that, it's coming together. I mean, we've kind of decided on a lot of the kitting stuff. And I'm just waiting on a few things, but yeah, it should be soon. I mean, I think, like, honestly, if I had to give you a date, it's probably like in the next couple months, maybe at most even. I'm just waiting on some stuff, and it's just kind of slow to confirm, like logistical details. But like it'll be soon. And I don't think it might be a full GB. It might be a short pre-order, or like, you know, like Sloth or Beta, where they had like a short limited time for like a pre-order, like, you know, kind of like small quantity but quick short interval. Might be like that instead of like a 1 month long or whatever open GB period, which is pretty long. Really to kind of, because so the Ultra R5 is rerunning because it was more of a demand thing, like a lot of people asking for more Dolce, and so I was like, well, I don't really know how many people actually are interested. Like it might just be a sample, a bias sample, and so I was like, so when I kind of like proposed this, they're like, oh, you know, it might be a good idea to just do a short run, and like if obviously there's a lot of demand for it, then we can kind of like do more later, or like, you know, like figure that out later, right? But like the first, you know, kind of like like we just have to like test run it. Like it's like not like the economy is doing great, and it's not like retail is easier right now. It's not like the tariff situation is any better, right? Despite things happening in the world all the time. And so we're like, okay, we're just gonna play it safe and do small kitting revisions and run it as simple as possible, and then kind of go from there. There are two main good things coming out of. There's the OGR 21XX, Diversity, Dolge, Beta.js, GMK Vintage Keys. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there, that's for sure. The real question is like, stuff that needs to get greenlit as well as make MOQ. Like that's important. To be quite honest with you, I'm like not super confident when it comes to like hitting MOQ stuff, and like I think a lot of projects kind of face that challenge. I mean, like the 21XX is going to be a very challenging project for Canon Keys and Pontus and them, like to hit the mark. It's an expensive project. Kind of like a lot of stuff going on for that, so I hope it does fine. That's all. This PCB looks oddly familiar. It reminds me a lot of Cycle 8. Yeah, it kind of has that similar stuff going on. Maybe it is the same PCB. I don't know though. I mean, but it's not run by them, so it's not the same designer. But maybe they are using a similar PCB, or the same PCB rather. Who knows? I don't know. It doesn't really say. I don't think I saw like any like stuff on the PCB that indicated that. So. Or Neo 80? Yeah, kind of like that too. Yeah, it has the pogo pin connector, the magnetic connector, and maybe the traces are pretty similar. Not sure. Maybe it is sort of the same. To be honest, I'm not opposed to anything that's like more of a standard PCB, or like previously seen, because that means other people could, do projects with that. Like Sloth R2, like 3-day GB for pre-orders. Why isn't Dolge just always in stock like WOB? Neflog said this, but basically it's just not that easy to front the capital and keep things in stock. Like, well, think about it this way. WOB isn't in stock at Novel Keys, right? And the reason is that they don't want to front that capital to just keep it in stock for sale quantities that they can't even predict. So, Drop, for example, keeps WOB, like had WOB in stock for a long time, but like, or still do maybe they still do actually, but they also just have more capital to move around. So it's a matter of money at the end of the day. It's just not that easy to keep things in stock. To convince GMK to also kind of keep an order open for it is not that easy. It's like a commitment. You're basically forcing someone to commit to it. And the reality is that demand is not that high. Like I don't really think it's still niche. Like it's very, at the end of the day, beige, Dolge and WOB, that kind of stuff is like, I mean, actually WOB might actually be a bit of an exception. It's the one that looks least retro of beige, WOB, and Dolge. So it's more universally liked and used, I think. WOB and beige and Dolge though give such a strong vintage retro-y vibe that is pretty niche, in the sense that like either you already have a predisposition to like it because you like that specific kind of stuff, or you've kind of hung out in the community for a bit and you kind of know your preferences and you've developed that taste over time, and that is niche already. So yeah, I think to keep that in stock is honestly a pretty tough ask. I personally think, like, if I were the business, it's hard to justify. It's very hard to justify. Why keep it in stock when I can just, do runs like that, like micro runs that just hit the MOQ and sell, and that's it. Like I don't have to keep things in a warehouse. Even if it's on GMK side, like if I were GMK and the premise of keeping things open to order is like the fact that I will have also a stock of the material to produce it. So it's like, why commit to that? So I think that might be why though. I think beige might be a little easier because there's been so many more varieties of beige, so to speak. But Dolce is kind of like its own thing, I think. Yeah, beige and Wob are a little bit more flexible than Dolce, I would argue. Also build my Martin Gussie. Is this the martingale? That's a, how do you like it, Lamp? How do you like the martingale? It's a pretty light board, the martingale. It took me a few years in the hobby to even realize things were sold as GBs rather than in stock. That's normal. It's normal for that understanding to sort of set in over time. It's not common. But it is, at the end of the day, it is, the keyboard hobby is niche. Reality. Yeah. Oh, I should fix that build command, shouldn't I? Let me go ahead and do that because it's now wrong, I guess. Built with MX Browns mounted onto a 1.6mm PCB. No flex cut, plateless. Stabilizers are cherry clip-ins, lubed with 205. Okay, and I think that link is the correct one, right? Yes. Okay, sweet. All right, let's I guess let's test the stabs first. Since it's plateless, it's pretty easy to go back to them anyway, but it never hurts to test. Diego, how do you feel about DCS? There's a DCS set I want, but unsure if I like the material. Well, material-wise, it only comes in two materials, ABS and PBT. Obviously, you probably know both of those. The real difference between DCS and, let's say, GMK, or BPT or CRP, that kind of stuff, regardless of the material, is the thickness of the keycaps. They're much thinner. They're like 1mm thick, I think. So pretty thin. I personally think DCS is nice if you like to hear more characteristic from the switches rather than from the caps. And so they are a little finicky at times. Like sometimes some builds with DCS cannot sound very good because the caps being thin sort of bring out a lot of the characteristic from the switches, and sometimes it's just not that pleasant of a sound. Typing feel, you kind of feel a little bit more of that switch as well. I would say kind of more notable on tactiles than linears. But for example, a popular combo for DCS is DCS caps with like MX Browns, for example, like light tactiles or tactiles in general. But I think MX Browns tend to be pretty popular with DCS, but people like that a lot because it kind of accentuates some of that tactile sound and feel from the switch with the thinner caps. So some people like that combo. But the truth is, DCS for a long time, for many years, it was not popular because of that. It was unpopular because the caps were thin and they didn't feel like sturdy and nice, which is why Cherry Profile became so popular. like cherry profile, or rather like cherry spec keycaps, like 1.5 millimeter thick, you know, ABS double shots or PBT. So it kind of depends. No, people do like DCS on MX brands. People, you're kind of obsessed with Peppa Bite? Oh, I see. Peppa. Okay, I don't think there's rattle, so I think we can keep going. I need DCS Windbreaker. That's a nice set. I really like the colors on Windbreaker. They're so fun. Such a fun key set. Windbreaker. Love Windbreaker. So it's a great set. In general, I found Mr. P Waite's key sets to be quite nice. They're just fun. Taro and Analog Dreams, you know. Windbreaker, right? They're all fun key sets. Tell P-Wait to design a new set. Man's been busy, I think. Or re-release Windbreaker in GMK. I'm sure he would do it if he had time and the bandwidth. I think he's just been kind of busy, right? But he's around. I think he's active on Mech Keys. And I think, I mean, he does have his own server, if I recall correctly. I'm sure he would do it if he had the time. I'm too scared to enter Mechkeys. Yeah, same. I don't really interact too much there. Just kind of not my vibe. Now that is a retirement home in there. Yeah, you do have some old guard people in there too. To be honest, it's actually not all that, but it's actually a mix of people, mix of new and old. But there are definitely a number of folks who have kind of just stayed there, and that's kind of like their main hangout spot. But yeah. The rest of this build should be pretty quick. It's hot swap and it's plateless, so not much to deal with here. We're just gonna go with a foamless, plateless build. See how it's like. Funnily enough, these MX Browns, I think I initially built these in a while back in the Polygon 7, I think, that I built a while back from Daring Run. And that one, I think we built that playlist as well. That was fun. That was a nice bar too. This is, oh, it's Wind Key. Okay, cool. Wind Key 7U. I do like the ANSI hot swap PCB fixed layout, sort of, almost, basically. It's kind of convenient when it comes to doing this. Hot swap playlist, never see it? Yeah, definitely not often, yeah. PCB just happens to be hot swap here, and then this board actually can be built plateless. So, you know, I'm noticing though that the 5-pin, the pins, the plastic pegs on the switches, they actually fit nice and snug on the PCB. So like, they feel pretty nice and sturdy on the PCB. So the fitment of the switches is nice and snug. I guess maybe with some of the bigger switches like Gateron, I think, or I forget which, is it Gateron? Maybe Gateron or Zeal switches. I forget which ones had like bigger, like the 5-pin portion was kind of like thicker in diameter. I think those might have a hard time, but the cherry switches on this right now feel quite nice and snug. I mean, I'm assuming it will loosen if you do multiple swaps, but at least for the first build here that I'm doing with no plate, it's feeling quite snug, which is good because when you remove keycaps and such, it's not as likely to take off with the switch as well. So pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, let's build the rest here. MX Browns. Okay. DNTKL. What's up, Vinkeys? Oh, it's kind of warm in here. Turn on the fan just briefly. All those cutouts in the bottom case seems expensive. Yeah, I know, right? I know. They could have just made it slightly, like, less thick, I guess, on that end. But yeah, the cutouts do seem kind of expensive. I actually do. But I mean, the price that they're promising for this board is, like, really competitive. Like, it's, I mean, it's really cheap, actually. They're saying it's like 250 bucks for this board, which is something, for all that brass copper and with all the cuts. It's very cheap, but I guess maybe if when you're closer to the means of production, it's just cheaper like that, or maybe they're just making a lot of them. We didn't know that. How much? Yeah, I know. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. It's kind of crazy. The world of like lower budget keyboard kits, while still retaining a lot of that like premium aspect to it, is kind of insane. I mean, they must either get good quantity or they just have access to some cheap stuff. Obviously, I do believe these are manufactured in China. So, yeah. Okay, almost done here. Do I have enough here? 5. Yeah, I should have enough. Must be manued in best Korea. Over budget keep year ago was 400. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how far we've come with respect to that stuff, right? It's just been like, you look at the QK stuff, the Neo, right? Like all these different vendors carrying like sub 300 bucks, sub 200 buck kits with all the bells and whistles, weights, and like wireless, and like 3 billion different options, color options. It's pretty crazy. It's hard to compete against that. But I mean, it's a good thing for the market, though, at least in terms of the it's a good thing for people like seeking that specifically, right? That said, I don't really think it also means that it would kill projects, like passion projects, so to speak, because you know, I think there's always going to be a smaller but enthusiast side of things, and yeah, it is harder to compete, but I do think those enthusiasts will kind of stick around for more. But yes, if you want good cost ratio here, cost performance ratio, it's getting better and better. No tactile gray for spacebar? Yeah, not on this one. Just don't. I don't think I have tactile grays readily available other than on some of the clear builds I've done before. Alright, well that's pretty much it. Actually, I think I don't even need to use these gaskets. These are for the plate. I got these guys, these fellas right here. These are the long ones. The black ones are more rigid than the gray ones. I personally prefer more rigid gaskets overall for plateless and similar, or for like these gasket mount builds. Just, you know, I just think they just fare better in terms of sound and feel. So I'm gonna try and do that. Let's see here. Do I need to keep in mind anything else? I think that's it, right? So I can just go ahead and just put these on. Hey, how's it going, Anatar? How are you doing? Good to see you around. Let's see. Do they have any specific orientation with which they're using this? Nope. Doesn't really say. Okay, so I guess they just go on all these segments. This is hot swap? Yeah, it's hot swap. Yeah, it is hot swap. Yeah, it's currently hot swap PCB. Wouldn't have voted plateless if I knew it was hot swap. Well, too late anyway, because it was coin tossed at the end of the day. That said, I think that this particular hot swap PCB honestly feels fine. Both the sockets and the cutouts for the 5-pin stuff feel quite sturdy for the switches. Nice and snug. So I think like I'm trying to like actually like pull this, and it's kind of difficult. So pretty promising for even a hot swap plateless build. Cherry switches are also tight IMO. Still wouldn't do it myself. That's fair. I mean, I definitely prefer a solderer if I have the option. But, you know, this is what they gave me, so this is what we'll work with. Alright, so go ahead and do that. Got a few extras here. Alright. So simple enough. What DCS sets I have a number of them. I can give you a little list, I guess. So these just have a little pogo pin connector, so just boom, like that. And that's pretty much how it goes. And then this is a ball catch. So that's it. I think that's it. All right. So DCS sets. Let's see. Can give you a. Let's see. DCS sets. DCS sets. I have Honeywell. I have Soiree Windbreaker. 9009. What is that? Cream cheese and green. Solarized dark. Wob. Dark sky. This one right here. Thief. Deadbeats. If you wanted to see any DCS sets. Otherwise, I do have GMK sets too, so you guys can pick. I do not have DCS Pogert. Or Shitgert, if you want to call it that. GMK Gargalong. Windbreaker? We can do Windbreaker. Windbreaker's fun. Got him. Yeah, you want to try Windbreaker? Windbreaker could be fun on this. What's in the glass? Oh, this is just iced tea. Well, I guess it was cold, but it's now kind of getting to room temp. But it's iced tea. You can do a Windbreaker if you want. Windbreaker's a mood? Oh yeah? Lukewarm tea, yeah. Ugh. Yeah, it was nice and cold earlier, but not as much anymore. Okay, we can do Windbreaker. Let's see. Alright, Windbreaker. Super colorful set. If you've never seen it, it's a cool one, in my opinion. Just kind of fun. Is this? Oh, that's fine. Don't we have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I do have homing keys too. Is this R3 or R2? I'm actually not sure. I'll wait and see. These novelties. Do some novelties for fun. Maybe I'll do these two. Oh, there they are. Huh? Oh, hi. What's up, Kiwi? Oh, wait, something wrong? What's up? Kiwi, are you okay? What was that? Oh, is he feeling sick? Oh no, Kiwi. He's not feeling good. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I need to attend to this. Oh no. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. So I guess Kiwi maybe ate too fast or something, cause he just threw up his food. But he seems normal right now. He seems okay. He just seems to be maybe wants to play. As you can hear him. He might want to play. Oh, Kiwi. Oh, baby. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing exactly that. That emote is exactly what he's doing. Except not as mad. He's not mad. He's just like needy. He's just needy. And I came back just so that we can do this and wrap up soon. And then I'll go and hang out with him. One brain cell? Yes. Respectfully. Poor boy, though. Kiwis. What the heck is this? I think this is R2 then. Down. Is your real tiger calling? JD's just chilling out up there. Just enjoying himself. Alright. DCS Windbreaker. F13. Nice. Maybe we'll put it on this time. He didn't want to eat anything. Because he's just in the mood to hang out. Oop. F12. I'm seeing an H around here. Where is it? H. And then, these, the win keys, I guess, or code. Yeah, it's these guys here. Okay. Put the whatever key. Alright. That's Windbreaker. Blind your eyes. Windbreaker. Alright, let's put some colorful caps on this. Got a few windbreaker friendly caps around here. Here, I have this Tut from Alpha Keycaps, and let me bring a few others actually. I have them around here. Alright. Actually, let's do these fun guys from different makers. This is the Breaking Wind set from a few different makers. Let's see, so we can actually do, I'm actually gonna remove some of these here and put the Alhex novelties. Basically R4 keys, and then we can do, let me see, maybe I'll do it like this. Do the lurker, and then we'll do the Tut, the Lucette, and the VBW. There we go. Alright, there it is. Wonderfully vibrant, as you can see. The juxtaposition of these two is something else. So quite nice. You know, maybe for fun, I'll add that novelty. I'm going the extra mile, so I'm just gonna actually put that GDK Lab novelty here because they provided it, so why the hell not? All right, there it is. Okay, so we have a centered USB port. Okay, I heard a little sound. Little jingle. Okay, that seems to work. Okay. Okay, that's working fine. All right, let's go ahead and, so there's like a little light up there for the diffuser, as you can see. All right, let's try this out. So maybe if you guys want to see it from the side, this is what it looks like. Chunky. Quite nice. Actually, Windbreaker here looks really fun. Can adjust the mic here for the typing test. So let's get that ready. All right. All right, folks. So here we have our DK1-TKL. This is the full, I guess, brass or copper, pretty similar materials. Bottom TKL with a cool little kind of like stone textured finish here on the nav cluster area. We have a little diffuser over here. We have the plateless build here with MX Browns. This is currently, it's a 1.6 millimeter PCB, MX Browns. We are using the harder gaskets. The gaskets are shaped like this. These are like the long PCB gaskets. The black ones are actually the harder ones, and the gray ones are the softer ones, but we're using all of the harder gaskets throughout that go on the PCB tabs. And that is pretty much what it is. Currently no foam, nothing else. And yeah, MX rounds with DCS Windbreaker. So let's give this a shot. All right, let's give it a try. Okay, let's go. Oh, I think it's bottoming out, right? I think it's bottoming out a little. So I'm gonna see if this feels like it's bottoming out, because the switches are constantly like, maybe the PCB is just kind of too close to it. So let me see if I can. Oh, this magnet is strong. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty tight. Okay, there we go. I think it's bottoming out. So let me see if I can put the, maybe I'll put that little, I don't really think this will do much. Hold on, let me see. Do they have anti-bottom out thingy? But it feels like it's bottoming out. That won't really do it. I don't think this will do anything, right? Because it's the, if it's the hot swap sockets, it wouldn't really do much. But maybe it will. So put these over. Okay. Okay, let me try again. Too flexy? Maybe too flexy, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this. That seems fine. That seems okay. All right, let me try again. All right. Here we go. Once again, MX rounds, plateless. Oh. Oh, I don't know. Or is it chattering? I think it's gotta be like, yeah, it's definitely bottoming out, right? Like, look at that chatter. Maybe it's chatter actually. No, it's definitely something else. Cause see that comma? Never even got close to that. Yeah, it's really weird. Basically making mistakes on every word. Yeah, I think this is a PCB issue. But you know what's weird? On the, what's weird is that the whatchamacallit, the, when I check this on switch hitter, it looks fine. Like, these actuate fine. Oh no, yeah, there definitely is some. See that? That's that one is triggering both. That one's triggering both. Let's see. Let's look at them. Yeah, that one. So actually, it's just this column, right? Yeah, it's just this one column is. Huh. I wonder if there's a short. That looks more like a short to me. That looks like a short. Okay, let me see. It's just that one. That's just odd. Media key. Okay, it's just this column here. And just this one here. I think that's the FN key. Okay, yeah, it's just this column here. U, J, M, 7, 8, and this over here. I can see if I can find it. But I feel like it's just that one thing. Maybe there is a short somewhere though. On the on these guys here or somewhere. What I can try doing, however, so I have a feeling it's because it's closest to the magnets here. So what I think I can try doing though is, it's gonna feel cheap to do this, but I can just put stuff like tape on that part of the connectors and see if it just kind of insulates that part there. Could be a faulty diode. It could be, but I don't think so. I just feel like it's just being pressed really hard against it. So let me try this. It's just a hunch, right? But I think it's just the magnet's really strong in the middle compared to the rest. And so it's just kind of like shorting that against the copper, because these are all conductive. So let me try that and see how it goes. Just the first two rows. So it was U, I, O, yeah, okay. So just these guys here. So I'm just putting tape on the rows, on the two columns, sorry, that are sort of like pressing together. It could be a short somewhere else though, like but it's just a hunch. I think it was these guys, and I think you wouldn't have this issue if I were not doing the plateless build though. But I don't know. Maybe I will suggest that they just provide an anti-conductive pad for the bottom case so that they can avoid this issue in the future. But we'll see. You know, we have to test it out and see and find out. So I'll do that. All right, and see. So, oh, guess it's shorting. See, it's still shorting there. M, J, U, 7, and F row. Oh, I forgot the F row, but yeah. This is what sucks about pogo pin connectorants. Hard to test outside the case to isolate. Yeah, that is true. That is definitely a downside of it. Okay, well, it's just that column, but it's good for me to provide feedback. So let's just keep it at that. It's just probably it's just these hot swap connectors, just getting too close to the case for comfort. And so I'll provide it as a feedback and go from there. All right, I guess we can just listen to the mods and yeah, see what you guys think. All right, here are the mods. Honestly, this sounds really nice though. Like outside of the PCB issue, this sounds like really good. Ooh, that R4 sounds like, This row sounds really good with MX Browns and plateless. I don't know what it is. Sounds nice. Kind of crunchy, but like good, you know? It's like a good crunchy sound. I don't know, it's weird. These mods sound good. Yeah, this sounds good though. Oh, it's a very good sounding board with plateless. It sounds pretty good. Is the foam still in there? Yeah, it is. I can remove it. Sure, why not? I mean, it's right there. So let me remove that piece of foam. Okay, the thinnest one. I'll just take it out. I guess since I'm already here and I still forgot to do that F7 F8 tape, I'll just put it on because it is possible that F8 one is also the one doing that. So I'm just gonna put it on because it literally can't hurt to do this. So right here, right? So I'm just putting insulated tape here, non-conductive rather, to these guys so that they don't short, and then I'll put it back. And then since it's so easy to disassemble, and then maybe I'll try it. See if it's shorting or not. It's still shorting. Yeah, maybe it's just a one-off bad PCB or something. Yeah, this is still shorting. But yeah. Hi Kiwi. Kiwi also wants to say something. He sounds good, just like the board. Okay, the foam was doing some work there, but it still sounds nice. A little bit more roomy now because of the foam being out. But that foam really was helping those mods though. Kind of like slight bit of that foam characteristic, but without being too overwhelming, I think. So it sounded good. I will say the typing feel though didn't really change because this is like super thin. So it didn't really change the feel. So this, I think this foam, you know, is fine to keep. If you want it. Yeah, I think it still sounds pretty good. But yeah, we can do like a fake typing test sort of thing. So you can just type random words that are on the screen here. That sounds pretty nice, frankly. I think it sounds good. This is a nice sounding board. Oh, I'm like sweaty. It's really warm in the room. All right. Oh, I did promise to weigh this. Can I get this? Oh. Can you? Okay, fine. I'll get it. I'm gonna get the scale to weigh it if you guys want to see that. Wow. Thank you. Okay, let's weigh this. It's quite chunky. So, it's a lot of brass. Yeah, it's a lot of metal here. So, you know, compare this keyboard, which is just alu, by the way. It's just an alu board. This board weighs two and a half pounds, right? So not much. 2.5 pounds is just 1.2 kilos. Pretty light. It's a very, very light keyboard over here. But then you have this bad boy, which weighs a ton. It weighs, oh, wow, exactly 7 pounds, built with DCS caps and some artisans. Exactly 7. 3.174 grams, or kilograms rather. So 7 pounds, pretty heavy. So hefty board, lots of brass. Lots of brass. Yeah, on the dot, like actually. Pretty funny how that panned out. I'm sure it would be slightly different with GMK or with other keycaps because they are denser after all. But yeah, it's exactly 7 on this build. But yeah, this sounds I think this sounds really nice. It doesn't have resonance that I don't like, you know. Like it doesn't have like an echoey weird sound to it, which is always sometimes a concern with the boards that have a lot of weight at the bottom, and sometimes it can kind of create this like weird hollow effect. And this also does have those little like force break at the corners in the middle. If you look at the case here, you have some force break here, and obviously the gaskets are separating some of that too, with some compression here. But you know, you do have some of the force break here between the top and the bottom cases. But it's a pretty nice design, honestly. It's a lot of brass, a lot of copper. And yeah, I guess if you also wanted to take a look at the interior here, we can remove this. So I'll actually do that just out of pure curiosity. Still not heavier than the overcast cloud line that weighs 10 pounds or something. But isn't that like a full heavy metal case? Like a, isn't it full brass or something like that, or full stainless steel? Whichever it was. Alright, so there is our battery compartment, I guess. It just has these pieces of foam, but this basically plugs in. Oh, it's like pogo pin style. And then like that. I guess that would make it slightly heavier. Yeah, full stainless steel. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, that's what the internal here bottom looks like. It's just a little slanted piece of brass. Okay, I think that lined up. Let's see. Yeah. With cell phone battery, old cell phone. Yeah, kind of gives that vibe for sure. I could actually switch these for the lighter ones if you want. Oops. Oh, well, there we go. Switch did come off this time, but I was holding it from there. Hot swap PCB things. I could switch these little gaskets. Not hard to do that. So let's just do this. I work in a recycling center, so I see those every day. Look the same. Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, I've seen them too. So, I'm an electrical engineer, but I don't see these specifically a lot. But when I used to do more like electronic stuff, I would see them too a lot. Old lithium-ion style, I guess. Probably not really old in terms of actual age. What's the last personal board that you got that came in? Last personal board. Probably the 84 2.1. That one was probably the 2.1 84 from Dodgy. It was probably the last one that I built. That was personal. Oh, right, batteries. Duh. I was like, why did it light up? I never plugged it in. And then I'm like, yeah, of course. It does have batteries in there. Alright, so lighter gaskets now. Pretty similar. Pretty similar, to be honest. That said, more give. I'm actually not a huge fan of the amount of give that this has. Especially like at the, like you see how like if I, actually that's not as visible on this angle. But from this view, if I look at it like, look at this cluster right here, okay? If I press kind of harder on this, it like sinks a lot. I'm not really a huge fan of plateless configs that allow this, especially in like longer boards. It kind of is very noticeable. It's like amount of movement. I'm not a huge fan of that, so I prefer harder gaskets for this. Yeah, it's a little higher pitch, right? A little bit more, yeah, a little higher pitch for sure. I think I prefer the harder gaskets on this. But feel-wise, in the middle, it's like kind of similar. I don't feel like the gaskets are doing as much because it flexes in the middle anyway. But on the outer part, it doesn't feel as sturdy, so it kind of sinks a little bit more. Yeah, harder gaskets I think are the way to go. A little bit more muted, perhaps, yeah. I can try like just random set of words. Can you stop the music? Oh yeah, of course. Sorry. Dio, does anyone at work know you're a streamer? No. No. I wouldn't go out and announce that stuff. No way. It's so weird. Isn't it kind of weird? I mean, I feel like if they're like adjacent to that industry, but otherwise it's like kind of, no. I wouldn't know how to do that. Why would you do that? I mean, would you go around telling Mr. Kupo? Do you go around telling your fellow coworkers that you are a Singa KVD lead moderator and a, you know, do you go telling people that you are the Mr. Kupo? Mr. Kupo? Yes, I do. It's what I introduce myself as. Hi, my name is Kupo, Mr. Kupo. Is that how you do it? I see. When are you gonna show up to the next meetup and introduce yourself? Come to KeyCon now. Buy your tickets. Come to KeyCon. The voices. Okay. Now, here it is. Light gaskets, okay? Higher pitch spacebar, yeah, a little higher pitch in general. So there it is. This config is quite lovely. Yeah, you like it? I think I prefer the harder gaskets myself, but some of you might like the higher pitch nature of this. Maybe a little bit more appealing for the people who like that pure DCS like sound, that like light keycap, thin keycap sound. Have a good end of stream. Go sleep. I'm tired a lot. Okay, go to sleep and have a good rest, Sinister baby. Take care. I can understand Kupo's point of view. I put Rufus McFlufus as my legal name on my resume and got hired instantly. Wow! Get hired instantly with this simple new trick. Can't believe it. How would I have known? Diego, will you be taking a look at OGR? Not as far as I'm aware. No one has been in touch with me about checking out the OGR, so I assume not. At least, you know, I don't know when it's supposed to run, so I'm not super in touch with the project, so I don't really know any info and who's going to be looking at it. But yeah, not me. All right, I guess I'll probably wrap it up close to here. I'll wait for these ads to be over, and then we'll show the board off and we'll wrap it up. So let's do that. So, you know, this is what the board looks like overall. Very lovely. With DCS Windbreaker currently, and looks quite nice. So there it is, DCS Windbreaker, and some artisans here from various makers. This is the DK1-TKL in its full glory. Full copper bottom, so I can unplug it and I can show you. Copper / brass rather. This one is brass, I suppose, but silver anode and brass bottom. Very, very big brass bottom. Says defined in the middle. Very simple. I really like how clean this is. This is very clean, very simple. I really like the aesthetic. It's just kind of no frills, just very nice and simple. They do have wireless capabilities, so they have batteries inside of this part here, but just very cleanly done. Frankly, it's pretty nice. I can switch over to the overhead cam here, and you can look at the side profile here, and you can look at the top. So the top kind of has this interesting texture on the nav cluster area with a little diffuser. And this is one is Winky Silverano. F13 only, I think. I don't think there's comes with an F12 option. Center USB port. And again, if you want to look at the bottom, just says defined. Pretty simple. Honestly, it's just very simple and clean. I dig this kind of stuff. Just makes it look nice. Makes it look clean. So pretty good. But yeah, this board, I think they are planning on selling this for quite cheap. They will be offering different PCB options, solder, hot swap, flex cut options, Allo FR4 PC plates, all the accessories that you saw today with the different gaskets, and pricing estimates vary from 190 some to like 240-ish, plus minus, you know, extra plates, PCBs, foam, etc., that kind of stuff that you decide to purchase. But super competitive pricing, really cheap, honestly, for what it is. And I think the design is really nice. I will provide feedback about the shorting that happened here on these two columns, which I think is just most likely like a PCB issue. But it possibly could be a good suggestion just for them to offer like a anti-conductive like sheet or something on the bottom that could just cover it up. And so even if the hot top sockets like touch, or the pads, the pins of the switches touch the bottom, you know, so that they don't short and stuff. So I'll probably offer that feedback to I guess in this case Unit Keyboards, and they'll forward it to the designer. But other than that, like, everything went without issues. Ball cache system for the case, so easy to open and close. This stuff is like super easy to assemble and take off. Sometimes it does worry me to have ball cache system on these heavy boards, because it also means that, you know, if you are kind of carrying it like this and you kind of let go a little, or like it kind of has a big downward force there, it's gonna probably come off if it's heavy enough. So it definitely worries me, so I always suggest people to just lift the whole thing. And also, when you're taking it off, use two hands instead of one hand or anything like that. Just be careful, you know, never hurts to be careful. But ball cache system and heavy bottom boards is a little bit, can be a little bit iffy. Just gotta be careful, because you don't know how tight those are actually holding onto the bottom case. So yeah, I like being careful with that stuff. This is a word of warning. But yeah, sounded pretty good with MX Browns today. Plateless config. I probably would keep it like this, just fine. It will happen to you at least once. Yeah, it's gonna happen, like, at some point, you know. If you keep disassembling it and stuff, it's gonna loosen up. It's gonna happen. The bottom is just gonna fall out on you, and who knows, if you actually have something below the board that you're lifting and you damage it, oof. So yeah, just gotta be careful. But yeah, I guess that's all I got for this. So yeah, I'm gonna connect this one just because I'm gonna raid, and I think I do have this column shorted, so just kind of annoying with vowels. When's the next stream? Is not sure. I am a little bit busy with work stuff early this week, so probably not on the first half of this week. Latter half, maybe. I am expecting to get parts for another build pretty soon. I'm just not sure if they'll come in time, but I will have to check. I am expected to build a few prototypes before I move. One of the upcoming builds, I think, is going to be the Blue Ridge by Clever Keeps. It's a EC build. So that one is probably going to be a full EC build. I'm assuming it's going to have the Dynacap parts kind of stuff situation. Blue Ridge is going to be running through Clever and Canon keys. I think later on there's going to be another build from... I was in touch with Wind Studio recently. I think they're going to send a board for a build pretty soon as well. Other than that, I'm just waiting on some other extraneous parts, but kind of TBD. I could be doing some personal stuff too, but I'm kind of just going to be busy in the next few weeks, just kind of getting ready for the move. And so right now my schedule is a little bit up in the air. I'm hoping, you know, once this week, maybe this coming weekend, but like right now streams are going to be less frequent until I move, most likely. I do hope to organize something just to kind of like hang out, and like if y'all want to like you know, chip in towards shipping for boards that I'm like clearing out. I'm gonna be giving away stuff. So probably gonna do something like that, like a little like subathon like event where you just, you can, subs or like bits or whatever, and basically that's gonna go towards the shipping of like boards and key sets and that kind of stuff. So I'm probably gonna do something like that, like a giveaway thing, later once I have that organized. But I'm not sure if I'll have time. It's honestly been kind of tight on time these days. So I'll see how it goes. If not, it'll just happen after the move, I guess. But I'll try to clear out stuff before then. Yeah, I'm moving. Yeah. Currently, expecting that to happen in the next month and a half. So it's gonna be busy. But anyway, yeah. All right, folks. Let's wrap it up here. Let's see. I don't know if anybody is streaming anything keyword related right now. I think I saw Lamp on early today, but he was done well before I started. I don't really see anybody currently up, so I guess we can just wrap it up here like that. I don't mind. And I don't know many people, and I don't want to randomly read unless you guys have any suggestions, but I think it's fine. Why am I moving? Rent. To get a better deal, basically. Raid the ducks? What ducks? Which are the ducks? Actually, yeah. Browse. Dash ducks? Oh, are they the little? Oh, I think I've seen this channel before. I just don't follow it. I didn't realize. Oh yeah, the duckies are cute. Okay, we can raid the ducks. All right, we can raid dash ducks for fun. Go and check out the little duckies. But again, thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out. I hope you guys have a good start to your week if you're in North America. If you're already on a Monday in Asia and other places, all the best for this week. But I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, take it easy and thank you. Goodbye. Take it easy. Bye bye. Good night.